Bobby Fischer comeback book was this is getting a bit spicy now.
What we're trying to do now, I haven't come up with a name yet because this was really spontaneous. So how about we call this a rapid interview? Because we're going to play a game of 15 minutes plus 10 seconds increment. And while we're playing against each other, we will have this interview. So I don't know how this will turn out, if this is a good idea. Maybe it's a terrible idea and everything is going back and forth or something. But we'll just go for it and see how we're doing. By the way, honored to play against a grandmaster like you. I barely have touched the rating of 2000 at one point, and now I'm still going around in this area. So I'm just hoping that while you're talking about yourself and about your projects and everything, that you forget how to play chess at one point.
I've already forgotten how to play chess.
Okay.
It's been a while since I played. Well, I have played a few blitz games with friends, but I haven't played proper chess in tournaments for a long time now.
Okay, this makes me very confident. So
How do I do that?
I guess.
Double click.
There we go. All right, you are white. So
Start.
yeah, you can start, and I will ask you for the people who actually don't know you yet that much. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you're doing, and what your journey with chess was?
Okay, well, first of all, I noticed that my rating is 1620.
Don't worry about that.
Normally, I'm used to having a rating which isn't a time in the middle of the afternoon. But yeah, I'm basically a retired grandmaster. I probably peaked in the early 1990s.
Mhm.
When I got a little bit ill with my arthritic condition in about when I was about 40, I'm now 57. I realized that playing chess probably wasn't the career for me to continue with because I just wouldn't have the energy. So, you're playing a.
That's the only thing I know against the Queen's Gambit, to be honest.
Remember what I was supposed to do against it. Well, I'll develop a piece that can't be too bad. Yeah, so I guess I peaked at somewhere a little bit over 2,500. I was a reasonable grandmaster, not an exceptional one. My main interests in chess were probably problems and endgame studies and series helpmates. And I wrote a book called Secrets of Spectacular Chess, which is about the aesthetics of both practical play and problem composition and study composition. And that's probably my lasting legacy in chess, is probably that book rather than any. Okay, maybe I played a handful of theoretically significant games or good games. It was really a small handful. And I think my book is probably more significant than that. Right, so what am I meant to do against that?
Well, Jonathan, I have to say this is very humble. So I made my research, of course, about you, and you have even written a couple of more books. I will come to them a little bit later, but you have also been the British champion in 1996, as far as I remember.
Not in slow play, maybe in lightning or something.
Yeah, but still. And you had a rating far over 2,500 at one point, and have played against all the people who were in the scene back then, and have made a big impact in chess by writing those couple of books and making all those nice chess problems and stuff like that. And you've been doing coaching too, and the stuff about chess, which has to be done at one point when you're into chess, I guess.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say all that. I guess when I finished university, chess was the center of my focus. I mean, I saw my path as being, what was on my path was good for my chess, and what was bad for my chess wasn't on my path. And I was very focused on chess, and mainly as a player, but also some other things like teaching and writing.
Nice.
That all changed about 20 years ago, or when I was about 40, maybe 17 years ago. Kind of changed direction, and I've been making a living for the last 2 decades by betting on cricket, and now I've started doing a bit of writing, not chess. And it's...
I beg your pardon? Betting on cricket was a thing you made your living in?
Yeah,
Wow.
I've been doing it for 2 decades. That's how I supported my new family, and also my son from my first marriage.
I can't believe it. That is something I really didn't know, and that is something very genuine, I have to say. Wow, interesting.
It is an interesting thing to do. I mean, it's a skill like chess. I mean, there are patterns, and you pick up. You get a kind of instinct and feel for it. I'm pretty good at it. I do well. In fact, I would say I've made a better living since giving up chess than I did before. No, this is unusual play you're hitting me while I'm talking here.
Now,
be a bit careful.
Now, kids, if you're listening, stop playing chess, off to betting on cricket. No, we're just kidding here, but
probably not the best example to follow, but
I think if you know what you're doing, then it's a very interesting thing. Now, let us open up a little bit with something which I'm also very curious about, and this is an opening, and it's called the Clarendon Court. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, I used to live in a block of flats which was called Clarendon Court in London, northwest London. And I looked at the opening there with several people, including the talented German Grandmaster Gerald Hertneck. We analysed it when he was staying with me for a week. So yeah, I mean, the idea of the move, it's d4, c5, d5, f5 is the Clarendon Court. I mean, the idea had been floating around for a while. It's not completely new. It had been played in the 19th century in a game against Staunton, but it was once called the Double Dutch, I think. But yeah, we kind of put a bit of fresh life into it and a few new ideas, and we dubbed it the Clarendon Court. It just seemed like a funny name.
Indeed.
Ultimately, I suspect it's not the most sound opening. There are ways white can get a slight advantage against it, but it's good fun for blitz, and it's playable as a surprise weapon from time to time, maybe.
I should have actually gone with that opening, of course. I shouldn't have played d5, but f5 at this point to let it go this direction at one point, maybe. But I decided elsewise, otherwise I won't stand a chance at all. So I'm now just still hoping I'm getting some advantage, but I already feel like I am under great pressure here. Well, good for you. Now, as you mentioned earlier, you have written a couple of chess books, and it wasn't only The Secrets of Spectacular Chess, which is very, very... Oh, wow, you've castled in this direction. It was a very well-known book, but you also have written Genius in Chess, Assess and Develop Your Chess Talent, and also, in my opinion, kind of interesting title, Bobby Fischer, The $5 Million Comeback. Without this being too much of a loaded question, but can you tell us, or can you give us some details about all the three books, like a little summary? Yeah. Because it's still probably very interesting for anybody who likes chess books, or maybe even Bobby Fischer or something.
I should state first of all that I wrote Genius in Chess on my own. The Secrets of Spectacular Chess was written with David Friedgood. He's more of an expert on chess problems than me, and came up with many of the original ideas in the book. So he was fully deserves to be the co-author. The Bobby Fischer comeback book was. It's getting a bit spicy now.
I hope you would lose your line. while answering the Bobby Fischer thing.
Got me multitasking, which is not my forte.
Nobody's, probably.
Come back there, I think, for now. The Bobby Fischer comeback book was an instant book on the Fischer Spassky rematch, the one that they played in Yugoslavia 20 years after their original match.
Mm-hmm.
And it was written by myself, Malcolm Payne, the well-known chess journalist and organizer, and international master, and also Nigel Davis, another British grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 of us wrote this book, and it was published within a day of the match finishing. And it was a fun book, just about the match, but probably of no great lasting significance. Now, you're threatening me in lots of places here. I have to be very careful.
Well, I have to try to at least give you a little bit of a challenge, and I can only try to do this by either winning on time, but it's, I think, 15 minutes plus 10 seconds increments. It's not going to happen. You still have easy 12 minutes left, and we still have only a couple of more questions going on.
Quite a lot of danger here. I have to be very careful.
But
you'll lose.
Let me ask you something, because besides the chess books you have written, you have written a new book. And it's actually coming out very soon. And it is not that much chess related, if at all. Now, what is the name of the book, and when did you write it, and why did you write it, and what is it about?
All difficult questions. The first one, the book is called Contemplating Comedy. I wrote it during lockdown when my normal work, betting on cricket, just completely ceased because there was.
Of course.
So I was sort of had my normal style of doing things just wasn't there to do. So I had to do something with my time, and I decided to write this book. What it's about is a difficult question to answer. It's something like a compilation of witty lines and ideas, and also some sort of philosophical, psychological insights and ideas. They're mainly other people's. That surprised me. It's interesting, yes. As I say, it's a compilation, but mainly of other people's work, but also some of my own. And I think it works, hopefully, in terms of just being funny, and people will find the lines in there amusing and enjoyable. And also, gosh, I'm going to have to think about this chess game.
Well, I can do some talking meanwhile. So let me just tell you, I received a copy from you to read a little bit, and I have read much more than I expected. I'm not the greatest reader of all time, so I'm more of like looking at some books which are very interesting for me. But it got me very hooked because it is indeed very funny. So and very unique in my opinion, because you're using a certain writing style, which is giving a lot of insight about philosophical, about psychological themes, about life in general, but also how to take it with a certain amount of humor, and what other people who have a amount of humor think about it. So I really enjoyed the reading of it. Is there anything chess related in this book, or are you coming back to chess in this book at one point?
One moment in the book, I'm talking about bricks in the wall of insight. So it's like you perceive the world as a wall, and you have bricks which help you build that wall. And I was talking personally about the bricks that are in my own development intellectually, and chess is one of those bricks which I mention in the book. But it's very brief. I mean, there's probably only a page or two about chess in the whole book, and it's over 100 pages. So, and it's just talking about the way chess can influence how you think and the way you see the world. There's no actual chess as in moves and analysis in the book whatsoever, just a few thoughts about the game and in general terms. I think I mentioned Garry Kasparov and quote him once or twice, but again, it's not talking about chess.
Sure.
Areas. So it's in no way a chess book. I mean, I wouldn't call it a chess book at all. Right, so the game, I guess material is about level and maybe a pawn up, but it's dangerous. My king is looking very breezy.
Yeah, I see a couple of good moves for you, which I do not like at all, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see what's going on here.
I'm going to take the first option and get the queens off the board because...
That's what I thought.
I'm scared.
Can't do anything about that, I'm afraid. Okay, now let me just quickly say I highly recommend the book. It's really fun to read. It's something very, very nice, especially in the times that we're living in right now. It gives a nice spot of enjoyment, and it's something to think about. And it is written by a very successful chess author. So this alone should also give you a reason. If you're a fan of Jonathan Levitt, then it's a must buy. It's one of his books, right? So a very, very nice read, although not so much with chess, but still. It's a very, very good book. My little cat wants to have playtime. Sorry for that meowing sounds, but that's how it is sometimes. Now,
well, thank you, Arnie. That's very kind of you. You're
absolutely.
one of the few people that have read it. I mean, I've obviously the publishers had a look, and some of my family have had a look, and a couple of my friends I've discussed certain parts of it as I was writing it. Like I'd send a chapter to one friend and a chapter to another friend and ask for some feedback. And another chess player called Eric Teichmann had a good read of it and given me a number of little corrections and spotted a few mistakes I made. So you're probably one of the first 10 people to read it. So I mean, I'm at this point I've had relatively little feedback, and different people have found it different in different ways, of course. But,
John, keep your thought, please. I have to give my cat some food. 1 second, please. I'm very sorry for that. Can you repeat the last sentence?
I was just saying that you're one of the very early readers of the book,
yes.
And I'm still, interested in how people are seeing it. I just wrote the book really without thinking greatly about how it was going to be read or perceived by others. It was just my personal statement about the world. And it's interesting to hear the way different people read it and think about it. Right, this game is hotting up.
Yeah, I really hope your bishop on the black squares is not a big threat to me. Let's see about that. So John, but what are your plans in the future now? I mean, at one point cricket might start again, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed.
It started, I mean, this month I've been very busy with something called the Indian Premier League, which is 2020 cricket.
All right.
And that I'm back in my normal swing of things. Every afternoon at 3 o'clock, I'm working for about 4 hours. And on weekends, I have 2 games, so I'm working from 11 in the morning till about
unbelievable.
On Sunday. So I've been back at it. It's going well as it used to, and hopefully it will continue. There are no audiences at the matches, but it's televised and people are following it around the world. I guess perhaps with your background, you're not going to be likely to be a great follower of cricket.
Unfortunately not, no.
Yeah, not that popular in Germany or Malta. But it's a great game, and the Indian Premier League is it's a fabulous sporting show. Anyway, I'm going to have a think about this position again. We're hotting up here.
Yes.
I don't have many points left, so I've got to make some impact with my pieces now.
Yeah, and you have this beautiful bishop pair, which is,
One plan.
you know,
That seems to be quite strong. Is there anything else I can do? I've got the idea of going bishop b6 check and taking your knight on a5 and getting your bishop on c4. Seems to be a reasonably good plan. I just want to see if there's anything else that's dangerous here. I think there is. Bishop c5, but you've just got good squares. I'm bluffing if I do anything else, so...
yeah, that is a
It's
pretty
got
good move. So I thought of this.
Right. Fair enough, but that's not going to solve your problems.
It's not. Oh, no, is it? Is it not?
I can still take on a5 and still have your bishop a moment later, so I think it's reasonable. I could also take that, but then you attack my rook.
Ah.
I think I'll just try and get this bishop.
Ah, yeah, you actually have a point there.
We're not on camera, are we? I could get Buffy on my lap here, but are we
Oh,
on camera?
yes, we are on camera, yes. Hey, Buffy!
Let's have it. I'll have to pick her up.
It's just a very small screen, but it's enough to get
Yeah.
an idea. Oh,
She's probably not happy because I haven't yet given her a bishop.
so curly. Buffy, how many vampires have you slayed already?
Plays vampires on every other Tuesday. And I'm cheating now because I'm getting advice. She's a very good chess player, better than me. What would you play here? She also helps me with the cricket. She picks the team that's going to win.
If I would be black, I would give up. Oh, Buffy, come on.
I'm going to let her down. Well, and I'm going to give her a reward. Biscuit. A big biscuit.
Yeah, that's what you deserve for this good advice, Buffy. That's what you really deserve.
Okay.
Oh, guys, I will try to play on a little bit, but I am pretty much lost because I think I miscalculated my position here. I don't know why I was thinking that the rook can take back immediately. Still, there's an interesting pawn on the a file, but I think I am not able to convert this one. Let's keep on a little bit more.
Fair enough. I've got quite a lot of weak pawns, and it's an ending you never know. So I think you're right to play on for now.
And I will, of course, to not bore our audience, I will just like cut a bit to the action points of our game at one point. Yeah, because I mean, is there anything which you would like to add maybe about yourself or a project you have in mind, something chess related which comes up for you? Because I'm pretty much, this was very, very great and very informative, so I'm very happy.
I'm not planning to make a comeback to chess in any significant way. I mean, I might. I don't have any psychological issues about playing. I'm happy to play in general, and I might play again when this COVID thing is over, assuming it is over, and I'm still in good shape to play. But yeah, I mean, I could see myself playing a tournament. I played a holiday tournament in Italy and Sicily.
Nice.
About 6 or 7 years ago, and I enjoyed that. But I don't anticipate it being the center of my life again.
I get that. I understand. But luckily enough, you have made a very nice dent into the universe with the things you have done already for chess. So thanks for that, John.
Yeah, it's very fun.
All right. Now, what to do here? It really is a bit messy for me. I have to admit it. It's still interesting. So what happens if I just push c6? Huh.
Okay. We're going to attack your rook.
I think I can. Oh. Bravo. Jonathan, you still got it in you.
Thank you.
I applaud.
Thank you. You certainly had me worried in this game. My king was very breezy for a little while there. I felt better once the queens were off.
I was really counting on the interview and yes, the multitasking aspect, but it didn't affect you as much as I was hoping for. And our very first rapid interview is over. So, Jonathan, that was an absolute pleasure. Thank you very, very much for this interview, and thank you for having the time to answer the questions. And I wish you all the best for your book release. Anybody who knows Jonathan Levitt and anybody who doesn't know Jonathan Levitt but knows him now, it's worth to check it out, and it's worth a buy. It's for a laugh, and laugh is everything we need at these times, in my opinion.
Thank you very much, Arnie. I've enjoyed being interviewed and enjoyed the game. I think once you're a chess player, you're always a chess player. So I was always going to focus on playing the game, especially when it started getting dangerous.
I believe so, yes. There is some truth in that. Jonathan, all right. Thank you. And see you soon.